Hello, I am Donnie, and I am the cute one.
And I'm Chelsea, and I'm the cute one.
TGIF, cuties. And last week I said TGIF, it's a F from hell, and that was collective. This week, yes, I'm sure it still is collective, but Chelsea and I are really going through it the day we're recording it. So enjoy whatever is about to be put into your ears.
Enjoy. I feel like it's reaching a point where we don't even need to give the disclaimer every week of like, we're hanging on by a thread, but we really are quite literally hanging on by a thread this week. It is Tuesday when we're recording this, and I feel like I've lived 7 weeks already this week.
You have. Your Monday was tough. You'll get into it. But here I am. My alarm just didn't go off today. So I set an alarm for 7 so I could wake up, have coffee, do eye care routine so I come in not puffy. But if you're watching on a video, you see I am puffy. And if you're sitting next to me, nobody is. Thank God we don't have a studio, Chelsea. My breath fully reeks.
Today on I Am the Puff One, it's always a bad sign when I log into a recording and I'm the first person there. And I did text you. I said, I'm here. And then I was going to give you 5 more minutes, but you did call me and said, oopsie kitty, my alarm did not go off.
Not at all.
But yeah, I did have a week from hell. And again, we're recording this on Tuesday. Yesterday, quite an emotional roller coaster, the ups and downs. I was texting you live updates throughout, and it was a situation that quickly went from haha, LOL to oh shit. And that is that I was at the emergency vet with my dog all day because I thought her butthole was falling out.
Well, to be clear, I never LOL'd. I don't think we were ever at a LOL time, Chelsea.
That's true. I don't think I was ever LOLing either, but I did text you and say, I think that Lonnie's butthole is falling out. I might have to go to the vet. Then I Googled anal prolapse. I sent the vet a picture. They said, oh yeah, bring her in right away. So yeah, it was never LOL, but I think anything that has to do with a butthole, it just felt quite on brand for my household.
Okay, fair, true, yeah.
But so I did go to the vet. I know that you frequently talk about you are a Pisces, you are a water baby. You like to cry. You like to purposely listen to music that makes you cry. You like to purposely watch shows that make you cry. You feel, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you feel the most powerful after a good cry. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was watching TV with Quinn yesterday, and through our text, I said, pause this, I need to cry for Chelsea. And I did.
That's so sweet. Well, thank you for crying for me, but I didn't need anyone crying on my behalf yesterday because while you're a Pisces and crying is second nature to you, your eyes famously never look better, sparkling baby blue that they are after a good cry. I'm a Gemini, so I don't believe in crying. I feel like it's against who I am as a person. And you bet your bottom dollar, I was sobbing in public to the point where another pet owner at the vet came over with some tissues and said, here. And I tried to take one and she said, you just keep those. Like ugly crying, weeping. Now, I'll jump to the end. It's not a happy ending, but definitely happier than what I thought was going to go on at 2 p.m. yesterday. So it turned out not her butthole falling out, but perhaps butthole cancer. She does have 2 growths coming out of the butthole. Really gross. My mom has started calling them snickerdoodles. Don't love that. She just says, oh, Lonnie and her little snickerdoodles. So I guess that's what we're calling cancerous tumors these days.
And I guess we're never eating snickerdoodles again.
Yeah, so if snickerdoodles were your favorite, maybe skip that this Girl Scout season. But I'm waiting for the results of the biopsy. Besides the snickerdoodles coming out of her asshole, she's eating, she's happy, her quality of life is good, so things are okay. So that's the end of this tale. Also the end of this tale, I do think that I'm allergic to my tears. I do think my body literally rejects crying.
Like Alphaba.
I'm not going to share the photo that I sent to you last night, Donnie, because I know I overshare on this podcast, but some things are better left as a mystery.
But cuties, if you're wondering, welts were under her eyes.
I'm not exaggerating. I think my body rejects the idea of tears.
No, I don't think it's that. It could be sensitive skin, and it is, I don't even want to say what I was going to ask. Are tears salt water?
They're salty, yeah.
Okay, so I think it's like truly putting salt into a wound with sensitive skin. Because if I cry too much during psoriasis season, the same thing happens to me.
Oh, okay. So I don't know. I'm not going to do any more experiments to find out because I have gotten my one good cry out. So
Right.
I'll see you in June or July, baby.
I just don't want to give you a reason to think you shouldn't cry.
Yeah, no, I know that crying is healthy. And certainly I'm going to be exploring that with my therapist this week of why is it that I just hate crying? Is it the vulnerability? Is it just snot, logistics, etc.? But Lonnie's doing great. She's super pissed at me. She's got a cone on her head. She's got 2 snickerdoodles hanging out her butthole. How was your week? Happier than mine, I hope.
It was happier. I found Jesus. So,
God.
so my friend sings in a church choir. So to support him, I went to go see him. And as I was there, Chelsea, I just drank the church Kool-Aid so fast, so fast. This was a Episcopalian. Oh, I pronounced it almost right. Episcopalian. So it's like, in terms of rules, they're lenient. In terms of service, they're based in Catholicism. So like the sermon was very anti-Trump and about how like there's someone in the Bible, I forget who, Peter, maybe John, someone who was a hateful man and then God helped him find love and then he was accepting of others.
You have drank the Kool-Aid so quickly that you're now preaching to the cuties. We're learning about God.
What if that was my cute one of the week? John from the Bible.
I want to shout out God, our Lord and Savior.
So just a very anti-Trump sermon. I was like, I'm eating this up. And like even on the website, when I was going to look what time the service started, it said like a very inclusive church. We welcome all. I was like, oh, incredible. So I went, the service itself was boring. The song selections wouldn't be the ones if I picked. Certainly weren't the song selections in my Methodist church. Like holy, holy, holy. Like those kind of songs. That's what I thought I was getting into. Now there is a Black History Month concert that they announced while I was there. That is not a church service, pure music. And I asked my friend, I said, I will go support you, but is it, and I said, I don't know how to say this nicely, is it going to be boring music again, or is it going to be good? And he said, it's going to be like Negro spirituals. I was like, oh, wonderful, I'm there.
I love that you went to visit your friend who sings in the choir and then said, a little boring for me.
He didn't write the music though, Chelsea. He was great. I heard him. His voice shone above the others, but yeah, the music itself was just hymnal music. So. And also it was communion week. The last time I went to a communion not in my own church was a Catholic church. And when I got up there, I guess I put my hand out wrong or whatever. And he was like, are you Catholic? I said, no. He said, you really shouldn't be doing this. So I was like, oh my God. So I had PTSD. I didn't, when the usher walked past my pew, I was like, no, thank you. No communion for me.
Did you do the arms crossing for a blessing?
No, I didn't go up at all because I don't even know anything. So I was like, I'm not going to do that. But funny you should mention a blessing, Chelsea. There was one song when the choir sang and the bishop or whatever he is was like, if you want to come up for a blessing and to receive your own prayer, people will put their hands on you as the choir sings. Feel free to use this time.
Did you do it?
No, I had to reach under the pew and hold on like I was on a roller coaster.
Like you're on Space Mountain.
Yeah, because my legs were twitching. I wanted to stand up and receive a blessing so bad.
You're like an alcoholic that you're like, I'm just going to go to a bar and have a Sprite. It's fine for me to be around it. I'm totally fine.
I'm not fine. And even before I was in the church, Chelsea, I was going to listen to worship music on my commute. And I was like, no, I don't need to do that. I'll listen to the Descendants soundtrack instead.
You'll have your own religious experience.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm glad, because could you imagine if I would have pre-gamed with Christ music?
No. Again, an alcoholic going to a bar. Like a couple of shots of Jack Daniel beforehand to warm the belly, warm the soul. Wow.
So God knows what I'll be doing after that Black History Month concert, Chelsea.
I'm proud of you, though, for white-knuckling your way through that blessing.
Thank you. It was very tough. But you know what wasn't tough? My Sunday night. That was Sunday morning. And I guess because Jesus was in my life, he was looking out for me later on, because I went to a football viewing party, which I had no idea was to choose the teams that were going into the Super Bowl. After one game was fully done, we were starting the second game, and I said, wait, so that team goes to the Super Bowl? And they were all like, yeah. But here's the thing. Jovi. You may recall him from Big Brother Express in Nashville. He was the co-host of this party, Chelsea. So I said, let's play Traders Express. This fucker Jovi was a traitor. And who was second to be killed? me.
Don't fuck with me, Jovi.
Jovi was already on the Don't Fuck With Me list, but now he truly is on the Don't Fuck With Me list. That's 2 games in a row. This man has turned against me. After that, we played Big Brother Express. It was me as the only vote to vote between Jovi and whoever else was on the block. And I was the deciding vote.
The fact you don't even remember who the other person was tells me.
Or it tells you strategy. Because I did my speech and I said, Nashville happened, Traders Express happened. I was put on the earth for this moment to be the deciding vote to get Jovi out of a game. And I said, and that's why I vote out and showed the other person. And I said, Jovi, I hope that what is happening right now shows to you that I was never against you. You had this for me, and I don't know where it came from, but I want to show that I came into these games with an alliance, and I was always faithful to them. And I hope that from here on out, you do the same.
How very Joe or John or Bill of you from the Bible.
Then we get to the final 4, and it was Jovi, his girlfriend, Kaylee, who was the co-host of the party, who I called Lil Mama in Nashville, Harold, who was head of household, and me. And Harold put me on the block and then was deciding between the other 2. And I was like, you fucking idiot. Now whoever is left is going to vote me out, bring their significant other, and then vote you out next. I was like, congratulations, Harold. You just brought a couple into the final 2. So then it was me and Jovi on the block, and with all that, Kaylee voted out Jovi. I know, because I planted those seeds about, oh my God, everyone's out to get me. So then, final 2 was me and Kaylee, and Jovi was still bitter that Kaylee voted him out, so I won by 1 vote.
Wow. God is good.
Our God is an awesome God.
God.
What if I joined the choir, Chelsea?
God. I am going to laugh at this situation, but I'm keeping eyes on it. We're monitoring the church situation because it's a slippery slope back into the hands of God.
It really is. So cuties. If you want to see my couch bed, my puffiness, the whelps under Chelsea's eyes, just kidding, she's not showing them. Or maybe just the spirit of Christ behind me in the room. Feel free to go to YouTube. Videos from TGIF are there. We've got clips. We've got full length. Go there. Watch us. Take my bread. Eat. Or whatever he said. I don't know. I didn't do communion.
Christ has died. Christ is risen. Christ will come again.
Oh, I also don't know how to do
The
this.
Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Is that all Catholic stuff?
Episcopalians do it too, but it is based
But
in
you
Catholic,
didn't,
yeah.
like growing up, you didn't do any of that stuff.
Oh, no.
Did your church do the sitting, standing, kneeling?
Nope.
It's a full body workout in the Catholic Church. An hour and a half
No.
of basically squats.
we don't squat. And communion, Catholic churches and Episcopalian, I guess, hold the little
Do
goblet.
a super spreader situation. Yeah, the
Yeah,
little wipe
no.
of the gauze and prayer up for Jesus.
We had top of the altar opens, and it has all these little holes in it with little shot glasses in it of grape juice.
Like you're in the Watch What Happens clubhouse doing a shot ski.
Yeah. Except you have to take the shot glass out. It doesn't lift up. So you go to the front, kneel for that, and then you have your own personal shot and your own personal bread cube.
More hygienic. Oh, yours is a cube, not a wafer?
No, it's cut up
Wow.
bread. Truly bread.
I would love to do like a wine and bread tasting where it's just different church Eucharists. Like
Oh, that would be
how
fun.
each church prepares the body and blood of Christ.
I would love that.
So, this week brought us the new season of The Bachelor, a release date for Lady Gaga's new album, the Eagles and the Chiefs making it to the Super Bowl, Timothée Chalamet pulling double duty on SNL as host and musical guest, and rumors of Zendaya, Sydney Sweeney, and Ariana Grande in a 9 to 5 remake. Can I just say that football party really did transform me because you did this little blurb of what this week brought us, and you included the Eagles and the Chiefs making it to the Super Bowl.
Well, I am a Philadelphia native.
Oh, I forgot. Boo. Fly, Eagles, fly. I want to talk this week about Christopher Walken.
Okay.
Mostly because it gives us both the chance to re-debut our terrible Christopher Walken impressions.
Perfect. And mine's straight from bed, 20 minutes awake. I can't wait to hear what this is.
Christopher Walken told the Wall Street Journal that his relationship with technology is non-existent to the point that he doesn't own a cell phone. He also talked about how he had to have Apple send him DVD copies of Severance in order to watch his performance on the first season of the acclaimed drama series. He said, "I don't have technology. I only have a satellite dish on my house. I've never emailed or, what do you call it? Twittered.
I've never Twittered."
I'm of the mind that we should move back to having a cell phone iPod situation because let me tell you, I don't want it all connected because I get annoyed if I'm scrolling on my phone or listening to music and people text me, and I get annoyed if I'm talking to somebody on the phone and then I'm getting notifications from other apps. I want them separate entities. Give me a jitterbug and an iPod and I'm good to go.
What's a jitterbug besides the best song from Wizard of Oz that never made it to the final movie?
It's one of those cell phones for old people. We got it for my grandma. It's basically just like a giant cell phone that has a couple buttons where you can call certain people, but like no internet, no ability to Google things, etc.
Yeah, I would like that too. I would like, what's that game?
Snake.
I would like that on it.
I haven't known peace since the Nokia brick phone Snake game.
No. In the early days, when I didn't have games or the internet at my whim, when I couldn't watch porn in a quiet car, when I was forced to truly make my own fun, something I used to like to do is sit on the street, not butt to the street, just like...
You were doing a Notebook situation when they lie in the middle of the road and hope to not get hit.
Or hope to get hit. It depends what year of my life it was. I used to sit, like, against walls of buildings, and then one of the ringtones I had purchased on my phone was Jessica Simpson's These Boots Are Made for Walking. And as people would walk by, I would play it and see if they were, like, walking to the beat. Like an old, fat businessman. Are you ready, boots? Dun, 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 dun. It was fun.
I love that. Pepe used to sit, because they have a beach condo in one of the high rises in Ocean City. And so he used to sit on the 15th floor and look out their beautiful view of the parking lot. Oh, I thought you were about to yell at me, but no, just yawning like a bear.
Oh, I'm so sorry I didn't have coffee.
I'm impressed with how your brain's functioning with that.
I will say, not to cut you off, because who knows how your brain's going to function, but much like how you say, like, I'm in a piss-poor mood, I'm ready to tear up the world, and then the podcast turns you on. Does it?
Then I just log on and flick the beam.
With Pepe watching.
Oh, God. That's a callback to our Patreon episode, Cuties. If you're not subscribed to Patreon, you're really missing out on some horrifying content. Donnie ruining my life.
Much like it makes you happier, I think this was like morning yoga. Cuties, I cannot stress enough. I woke up at 9:05. I was supposed to be here at 9 o'clock. The first thing I did, still in bed, was call Chelsea and say, I'll be right there. I just woke up. The alarm didn't go off. Then I put in my contacts, threw water in my face, and sat back down. No coffee. No underwear on. Just...
Are you naked right now?
I'm sitting how I sleep.
Pooh bearing.
But with a blanket over my lap like Lyndon B. Johnson. So anyway, Pepe on the balcony.
Sure, thank you. It's hard to get back there. So Pepe had one of the first cars where if you push a button, the alarm would go off, the car alarm. So he used to literally just sit up there, drinking his beer and waiting for people to walk past his car, and he would push it and the alarm would go off. And this again is like before the days where everybody's unlocking their car. And so he would just scare the shit out of people and like cackle to himself up there.
That is fun.
Back to Christopher Walken, though, and his DVDs. Mum is cleaning out her basement, and so she brought over their old cassette tapes, their old CDs, a boom box. We already had my dad's records and the record player, but it's so funny to watch the girls with this boom box and CD player because they're like, what is this vintage thing? Like my youngest daughter every morning puts in a little cassette tape, and she knows how to work it now, and she thinks she's just all that in a bag of chips, which she is. The troubling part is... my family is known from the beginning for mixtapes and CDs. Oh, quick plug for our Spotify account. 2 things. Number 1 is I think you can comment on Spotify now if you do listen to this show on Spotify. I did some setting where I think you can leave comments about the show. So go ahead and try that out, people. We'll see it, I think, if you comment. But number 2, I finally did do my quiet quitting playlist. But my family has always made these mixtape compilations, and I did quickly discover that some of the mixed cassette tapes entitled Joe and Jeannie's Special Time, Joe and Jeannie's Relaxing Mix #3. They are just my grandparents' mixed cassette tapes that they clearly fucked to. And there are so many of them in this collection. And even worse than Joe and Jeannie's late night moves playlist that starts with Al Green's Let's Get It On, even worse than that knowledge is that my youngest daughter has really taken a liking to a couple of them, and we have been listening to them from start to finish as she does her cute little Glinda dancing in the living room, and all I can think of is what else happened to this song.
Well, you're on this earth because of it, Chelsea.
True, so who am I to complain?
Now, I want to shout out, and I'm going to say a lot of states or countries I don't even know the name of, starting with Cleotherpes. Can't be right. But a 200-year-old bottle was discovered in a Cleotherpes building site. And this is reported by the BBC. So I assume it has somewhere to do near Britain.
Okay.
Cleotherpes not in America.
How do you spell it?
Cleethorpes. Cleotherpes. The people that found it thought it was a bottle of rum, so they were going to drink it. And then someone said, wait, maybe let's not. So they took it to the University of Lincoln, where it was examined. We have discovered at this time, it might change. We have discovered at this time it is actually urine, not alcohol.
Can you imagine?
200-year-old piss. You would be possessed on the spot.
100%.
I'm tempted to try it. There is a turnaround time, though, for pee, and I think it's only 7 minutes. If you're ever on an island, you can drink your own piss for the first 7 minutes. I used to tell my dad this all the time. Why I thought he would need this, I don't know.
But if he ever did, he would look back and say, thank God Donnie told me.
I told him this, and I told him Epcot Center at Disney World was mostly staffed by sex workers. I was like, they don't advertise it, you're not supposed to know, but half the people here are sex workers.
Is that true?
I heard it once. So then, like, in 7th grade, I don't know where it came from, but I did hear it, and then, like, told everyone I ever met, including my dad, every time we went to Disney.
See, I miss those days. If we're going to make America great again, make conspiracy theories middle school again. Like, nothing better than a middle school conspiracy theory that somehow everybody knew. How did we spread the good word that Marilyn Manson removed a rib to give himself a blowjob? We don't know, but we all knew it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because I also used to tell my dad other things like that, but over time, the things I mean, sex workers in Epcot really doesn't age well either, but at least I used correct terminology.
Sure.
Like, they came to America to get money however they could, whether that's headlining as a Swedish milkmaid at Epcot Center restaurant, or maybe that skirt lifts up. We don't know. Huh. But either way, collect those coins, mama.
Back to the pee. I know that you can drink your pee one time. So if you're on that desert island, I guess you have 7 minutes to do so. But once you drink that pee and then pee again, you can't, because then it's poison to you.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So you only got one shot, one opportunity.
Now, what if you boil it?
Eminem. Maybe if you boil it, it's fine.
So they should have just boiled this piss. Why'd I say it like that?
This piss. Well, because it's from Cleotherpes, of course.
Gather around and drink this piss.
I think it's a bold move, though, even if it was rum, to say, yeah, let's drink it. You're asking for butt cancer, honestly.
You can dip your snickerdoodle into this rum before you eat it. Which, I know I've said it before, the best thing I've ever had was chocolate chip cookies dipped into vanilla vodka. We didn't have milk at the time.
That is so gross.
Before the university started doing its experiments, they thought it was a witch's bottle buried to keep evil away from the house, and that it never should have been dug up. And they also said possibly it was placed there by a sailor to ensure a safe journey. But it wasn't. It was just someone's piss. And it is a gorgeous bottle, if you can see it.
Oh, yeah. I'll post that to the YouTube so everybody can have a nice look at that piss bottle. So let's move on, shall we, to the cutie of the week.
We shall.
My cutie of the week surprised even myself. I'm really taking a liking to this woman in a way that I didn't anticipate, and that's Addison Rae.
What?
Yeah, I don't know when it happened. I don't know if it's her marketing team. I don't know if perhaps I'm just such a broken version of myself after this past week that I just have no more willpower in me to resist her charm. But she was on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine. Good for her. She has a blossoming pop career, apparently. Mm-hmm. And She is unhinged in a delightful way, I'm realizing, because some of these quotes from this Rolling Stone article are just magical. She talks about getting signed to Columbia Records in 2024, and she says that she sold herself on vibes alone. She said, I walked in with a binder and I made a slideshow. I just mood boarded my vibes. I literally had no music to play him at that point, so it was just about trust. Like, yeah, I'm in the clouds and I enjoy being there, but I'm also serious.
Incredible.
That's very reminiscent of how we pitched this podcast back in the day to our first network.
It really is. It truly is.
Did we make a PowerPoint presentation with Comic Sans font? Perhaps.
We did, but it told a story, and that story had a happy ending.
Look at us now. We also are just vibes. Head in the clouds, but we're serious.
Yeah.
She also said, it would be so fun to have a dog right now. A dog or a cigarette.
Or a dog with a cigarette. Do you know that poster from Dare that said, it's just as stupid when you do it?
Yes.
I talk about it once a week, I know. But that's how I imagine this.
I love that you and I had very different DARE experiences. Our takeaway from the DARE program was very different, where you were quite literally scared straight. And I was like, I've just learned a lot about drugs, including how to smuggle heroin up my butthole across the border. And I have more questions that I would like to get some experiential knowledge about.
Yeah. No, the baby dying in the pool while the babysitter thought she was at a music festival, that was too much for me.
Talk about a middle school conspiracy theory that we all knew about. The person that did acid for the first time and is still to this day in the psych ward because they think they're a glass of orange juice, and they sleep upright because they think that if they lay down, they'll tip over and all the juice will come out and die.
That was not in the play they did for us. No.
Well, the more you know.
Wow. My kitty of the week also, Chelsea, we always do the same thing. Mine was also someone who made it to a magazine cover this week because Brenda Song and Macaulay Culkin were on Cosmopolitan's Love Issue. God bless them.
God bless them. I love them.
Yeah, so hopefully they're on the cover of more magazines.
Macaulay Culkin's grown-up voice is shocking to me every time.
Yeah, his grown-up face is also.
Well, we don't need to go there.
But
that's Brenda Song's husband you're talking about.
But we know the woman doesn't really have wonderful romantic taste. She dated Trey Cyrus for a little bit, Chelsea.
She did?
She thought she was pregnant or she was pregnant with the baby and had a miscarriage, yeah.
Oh, no. Well, at least she's on the up and up. Yeah, Macaulay Culkin's voice is like, you know that girl that was tall in 5th grade who then was 5 foot in 5th grade and then is just still 5 foot because it turns out she just hit puberty early. I feel like every class had one. Like the girl that was tall that now is like, oh, you're super short. That's what happened to Macaulay Culkin's voice. Like I think that when he was 11 doing movies, he had his grown-up voice and we didn't know it because when he accepted that star on the Hollywood Fame, my God, I gasped when that little voice came out of that man.
I'm one of those people. So when my voice cracks as a 38-year-old man, I still think like, maybe this is puberty, but it's not.
I'm still waiting for my growth spurt any day now. Both of my girls are only 1 foot away from being my height. They're 5 and 7. Do you think that I give tall energy? Like before we met, did you think I was tall?
Tall is subjective for women because I know for the most part you're always going to be shorter than me. So in a world where I am the center of the Venn diagram.
In a world where Donnie is the center of his universe.
If you're smaller than me, then you're not tall.
Okay.
But tallish, yeah.
Yeah, I think I give like 5'6" energy.
And you think that's tall for a woman? What is a woman supposed to be?
A woman can be whatever she wants, Donnie.
Well, if you're saying 5'6" is tall, then...
I mean, that's tall compared to what I am. I think 5'6" is like average. I think that like 5'8" and above is like quote unquote tall.
Oh my God. 5'6" even sounds short to me. If I were going, and this is man, of course, and a top, of course, which you might be. But if I were to find a man on Grindr and it said he was 5'6", I would not want that top in me.
Well, also, if a man says he's 5'6", he's 5'3".
They're not honest about it?
That's like Ryan Seacrest claiming he's 5'8". If you see a man that's 5'8", he's 5'5". If you see a man that says he's 5'6", that means he can't claim 5'8", which means he might be 4'3".
When did they start telling the truth? Because I'm 5'11" and I say that.
You're an enigma because usually people will round up to 6 foot. I feel like if you are a man and you are actually 6 foot, that's when the lies stop. But a
Ah.
5'11", that's just a hop, skip, and a jump to 6 foot on a dating app.
Wow. Well, good. Look at me telling the truth. For
Mm.
better or for worse.
Honest Abe.
My favorite. Cuties, that's the end of our episode. We've somehow done it. Chelsea didn't cry. I stayed awake. Now, the voice is a little rough. I do understand. No warm-ups were done today. So, God bless you for listening. But here we are. On Monday, Bunny Boiler Month officially begins, and we will be covering Obsessed, starring Beyonce Knowles. And that's all we got for you. So thank you yet again. Go watch us on YouTube, and we will talk to you later. We love you like a sister. Bye.
Bye.